Hey, I'm going to ask you a really strange question. What's your relationship with fear? I'm Foxy, and this is,
Robert?
and we're from Love Life Matters. So, Robert, you were just talking about fear before, and something we can share with you, the viewer.
Yeah, yeah. So fear, like fear comes with many different names or labels. And we may be experiencing quite a bit of it at the moment, maybe, with the global crisis and a global event that's happening. So I'm just wanting to bring that back down into our relationships and our families. So fear can have a label of anxiety, can have a label of nervousness, can have a label of fear, just, yeah, all of that sort of stuff. And so, what is my relationship with fear? I, over all my years, especially going back, it wasn't very good. I tried to deny it because I thought that it wasn't all that manly to like to own that I was scared. There's another word, scared. And so that's what I would do. However, I do things a little bit differently now, and I just wanted to share that with you. However, I just want to ask Foxy what her relationship with fear is, especially at the moment.
So, there's two things going on. I mean, fear of what might happen, and that can be the same thing with a relationship with you,
Yeah,
is fear of speaking and asking a question or asking what I need or asking how, just asking something of you, there might be some fear come up in me
yeah,
and going, oh, how are you going to respond to this? And I guess in another sense is of what's going on around us at this time is this fear. And I feel it like an anxious thing. I find when my thoughts start running off into the future of what may or may not happen, and then I
that's a good
find
point.
myself going into this like mild panic within my body, and I'm going, well, hang on a minute. Come back to right now, the real presence. And as you can see by the background, we live in a beautiful place with the trees and the birds, and it's very private and it's peaceful. So I can only live in the moment right now to
Yeah,
being right now
that's it.
and what's going
That's
on around me right now.
that's
And
a wonderful point. What you said around being in the moment. There's something around the most times like fear and all of those other associated labels to fear, they themselves, they won't kill us. They won't, it's our behaviors or our what we do after that event of fear that can do something to us. So what I'm saying is what Foxy said is that to have a relationship with it, to acknowledge it, acknowledge it if you're scared, acknowledge it if you're fearful, acknowledge it if you're nervous. There's been times when I've been up on stage, which is a big one, where I have those butterflies. So that's where I feel my fear most of the time, in my stomach. And that's where I've felt it most of the time over this last week or so, especially when I watch some of the news. So I don't watch a lot of the news anymore because it feeds my fear. And so what I am doing now is I'm the best that I can, I sit still and be with it, allow it to be with me and feel it like in my stomach, whether it's butterflies or whether it's just some, upset, something going upset in my stomach, and just sit with it, because what I've found is that when I sit still with it, it goes. It goes away. It then so when I do that, then it's disappeared. So I have this thing around, oh, there, fear has come to visit me right now. And then if I have the chance to sit still and be with it, somehow it then goes away. Now that's not all the time. I'm just sharing my experience around that. And so you can do that at home, to just sit with it and acknowledge that it's there. Acknowledge it with your partner. It's so important to do that, and with your children to be able to do that.
yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with having fear within us. It's real. It's so real, and especially right now. So all I know is if I don't acknowledge fear in me, it will come out in a different way. It'll come out in anger, right? It'll come out in sadness. It'll come out in a whole lot of different ways for me, and I might end up dumping that fear on Foxy, right? Or the children. And so I don't want to do that. Sometimes I do, but most of the times I don't want to do that.
So no, I agree with you, Robert. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. We'd love to know what your thoughts are. And if you like it, feel free to share this with other people as well, especially at this time. Thank you for watching.
Yeah. Bye now.